I have no problem being opportunistic when it comes to advantaging my customers.
The automaker's EV business has lost.
We want to take the lead, put an offer in. We're America's car company.
Ford's CEO just dropped a bombshell, announcing that Ford is planning to scrap its plans for EV production. This surprising move stems from Ford's staggering losses in the EV sector, with huge projections of losses expected this year. The news also came as an utter surprise, considering Ford's prominent role in the electric vehicle (EV) revolution, underscored by its ambitious plans and substantial investments in electric mobility. Yet, in the twist of events that left many astounded, Jim Farley, Ford's CEO, disclosed that Ford was scrapping its EV projects and reorienting its focus toward traditional internal combustion engine (ICE) vehicles. This abrupt shift in Ford's electric vehicle strategy has raised numerous questions about the motivations behind this dramatic decision, with some experts claiming Ford is currently on a collision course and others claiming it was a strategic move. But what are the driving forces behind Ford's announcement, and what does this mean for the EV world? Ford's commitment to EVs has been unwavering, but it's evident that the shift to electric vehicles is unfolding at a more measured pace than initially anticipated. The tightrope walk between pricing, profitability, and customer demand is posing quite a conundrum for Ford. Jim Farley has been quite honest about the hurdles surrounding EV charging infrastructure. Nevertheless, he remained steadfast in his belief that Ford could secure a spot among the EV market's victors. Now, Jim Farley thinks that reducing EV production and transition may be the only way forward for the company. He acknowledges that electric vehicles undoubtedly represent the future, but underscores the imperative to address the present and the core of Ford's business, which remains firmly anchored in traditional internal combustion engine (ICE) vehicles. Farley stressed that this decision should not be misconstrued as a complete renunciation of electric vehicles. Instead, it signifies a temporary postponement aimed at securing Ford's immediate financial stability. Moreover, the prevailing political and regulatory landscape has been making Ford uneasy about the EV investment. The global momentum toward electric vehicles has prompted governments worldwide to impose more stringent emission standards and offer incentives for electric mobility. Jim Farley's expressed concerns revolve around the possibility of rapid electrification, rendering Ford's ICE vehicles obsolete at a pace faster than anticipated, potentially leaving the company in a precarious position. The CEO contends that Ford requires more time to effectuate a smooth transition and adapt to these transformative changes without compromising the viability of its existing business. Ford has been grappling with hefty losses in the EV arena. Recent reports indicate that Ford's EV business reported losses of $900 million in 2021, followed by $2.1 billion in 2022, with a projected loss of $4.5 billion for 2023. These losses were caused by a confluence of factors, from the high production costs and tepid demand to the cutthroat competition posed by other automotive titans. While the industry's EV sales are indeed on an upward trajectory, they are not skyrocketing at the velocity Ford had initially envisioned. The reticence of consumers to pay a premium for EVs has thrown a wrench into Ford's ambitious and costly plans to ramp up EV production significantly. So the decision to halt EV production is a formidable setback in Ford's endeavour to transition towards a more sustainable future, but a necessary one to save the company from drowning. The discontinuation of Ford's EV investments and partnerships deals a substantial blow to their electrification strategy. Ford has even cancelled a $12 billion investment in electrification, with the aim of leading the charge in areas where the company excels. Their iconic models like the Mustang, F-150 and Transit were slated for electrification, with more in the pipeline for the years ahead. Beyond offering emissions-free versions of these beloved vehicles, Ford sought to leverage electrification to enhance performance, capability, and productivity. Regrettably, the losses incurred in their EV ventures have necessitated a postponement of planned investments in EV manufacturing capacity, including the construction of a second battery plant at a new site in Kentucky. Ford, standing as the sole full-line US automaker with a resolute commitment to reducing CO2 emissions in alignment with the Paris Climate Agreement and collaborating with California to reinforce vehicle greenhouse gas standards, had plans to make electric vehicles more accessible to customers. These plans encompassed affordable pricing, improved productivity, and reduced ownership costs. However, the financial setbacks faced in their EV business have compelled a postponement of their intended spending on EV manufacturing capacity. Ford has grappled with substantial challenges in meeting production targets for its EVs, resulting in unforeseen delays and escalating costs. Various production hiccups have significantly inflated the costs of their EV ramp-up, straying far from their initial projections. Moreover, Ford has been battling fierce price competition, which has exerted immense downward pressure on prices, consequently squeezing their profit margins. Automakers are locked in fierce rivalry, vying to produce EVs that are not only affordable but also boast extended driving ranges. This competition has instigated a race to the bottom in terms of pricing, compelling prices to plummet. Ford has also been wrestling with the Herculean task of obtaining a reliable source of batteries for their EVs, a dilemma that has triggered delays and cost escalations. Moreover, the global semiconductor shortage has reverberated into battery production, further hampering Ford's attempts to meet its production objectives. The company has also had to revise its production timelines, attributing the delays to a slower than anticipated adoption rate. One major factor behind the leisurely adoption of EVs is their small range. Range anxiety, a prevalent concern among potential EV adopters, stems from the apprehension that an EV will run out of charge before reaching its intended destination. This fear has acted as a significant impediment to the widespread adoption of EVs, as many consumers worry about the limited range offered by these vehicles. While Ford has been striving to tackle this issue by developing EVs with extended ranges, the progress has been gradual. Concerns about the availability of charging stations have made many consumers hesitant to transition to EVs. Ford's efforts to address this problem by investing in charging infrastructure have been commendable, but the process has been protracted. Their current outlook now envisions reaching an annual production rate of 600,000 EVs sometime in 2024, a step back from their earlier target of achieving this milestone by the end of 2023. Surprisingly, this more gradual ascent in electric vehicle production is seen as a potential advantage for Ford, as indicated by CEO Jim Farley. Hybrid vehicles from Toyota have also emerged as a promising transitional link on the path to full EV adoption, offering a middle ground that melds the advantages of electric vehicles with the convenience of traditional gasoline-powered ones. Hybrids employ both an electric motor and a gasoline engine to propel the vehicle, yielding superior fuel efficiency and reduced emissions compared to their gasoline counterparts. Toyota's hybrids also tend to be more budget-friendly than fully-fledged EVs, making them a practical choice for a broader range of consumers. While the cost of Ford's EVs has been on the decline, they still remain pricier than traditional gasoline-powered vehicles. Hybrids are also better because they do not necessitate the same level of charging infrastructure as EVs, rendering them a more practical choice for consumers without easy access to charging stations. Despite improvements in charging infrastructure, it remains less ubiquitous than gasoline refueling stations. Hybrids provide a more convenient option for consumers lacking access to extensive charging infrastructure. Ford's recent decision to postpone its electric vehicle plans generated a lot of mixed reactions. It's a move that has ignited discussions in the EV industry and among the general public, and for good reason. The decision reflects the intricate interplay of economic and political factors that wield immense influence in the EV landscape. Ford's choice to hit the pause button on its electric vehicle ambitions appears pragmatic. It underscores a deep awareness of the current realities and the need to navigate a complex terrain. The economic dynamics and the evolving political landscape have introduced uncertainties that any prudent company must consider. This perspective recognizes that preserving financial health is paramount, and a strategic retreat can set the stage for a more formidable re-entry into the EV market when conditions become more conducive. However, critics argue that Ford's decision is a missed opportunity. They contend that in an era marked by accelerating EV adoption and a seismic shift towards sustainable transportation, pausing electric vehicle development could relegate Ford to a follower rather than a leader in this rapidly evolving market. While the shockwaves of the announcement are still reverberating, the subsequent months will be crucial in illuminating the path Ford chooses in the electric vehicle arena. Only time will tell the ultimate outcome of this strategic decision and its impact on the company's fortunes and the broader future of electric mobility. As the EV landscape continues to evolve, the story of Ford's bold move will become an integral part of the narrative, showcasing the complexities and calculated risks that underpin the transformative shift to electric vehicles. That's all from this video. What do you think of this retreat by Ford? Will this turn out to be a great opportunity for the company or a colossal mistake? Comment below, and please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.